Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Saturday, most people's favorite day off, but not for me. I don't have a day off on Saturday, so I'm getting ready for the day. And I thought I would talk a little bit about biohacking. So I'm in like a mastermind kind of thing, and I had to put like a bio. So I put on my bio biohacking for productivity queens. And essentially, that is what we do. We help with biohacking, but I never talk about it because lots of people don't know what it is. So I thought today I would break it down a little bit and talk about the pros, the cons, what is it, how to do it, and the big question, do you have to do ice baths? Because that is not me, to be honest. People do like dips, don't they? They do like sea dips or they do ice baths and stuff, and it is not for me. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that because that really puts people off. Like for me, if they were like, do an ice bath, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. I would not be doing it. So I thought I would talk a little bit about that today. As I'm getting ready, Cam's already gone out. He's gone boxing, like coaching boxing. Okay, so what is biohacking? Let me just move my little microphone here. There you go. What is biohacking? Biohacking is basically hacking your biology. That's literally what it is. There you go, done. End of life. But what does it actually do? So biohacking can be used at different levels, as in like you can do different levels of stuff, depending on your goals, depending on your lifestyle, depending on lots of different things. So for example, if you are an Olympic athlete, let's talk about that because the Olympics have just finished. If you're an Olympic athlete, you will be biohacking in different ways, such as to help recovery, versus someone like myself who's just bog standard person. I don't need to recover like an Olympic athlete because I don't train like an Olympic athlete. So then you might be thinking, well, why do you do it then? Why do you teach it? Why do you do it with your clients? But like I mentioned, you can do this at different levels. So for a lot of women that we work with, energy is like a big thing. And I know I spoke a little bit about this yesterday. We talked about energy and bloating, I think. No, brain fog. Energy and brain fog. But we did touch on bloating also. Let me just open this. Okay. Hey, Gareth. Gareth. Roger always talks. Roger always uses name drop. But yeah, so biohacking then is basically you can do it at different levels. So if you're struggling with things like brain fog or energy, which most of my clients are, that is something that we regularly embed into our programs. Not that we tell them. We're not like, hey, clients, we're going to do some biohacking. But essentially, that is what we're doing. So I'm going to share with you some of my tips, the easiest things. Hey, Busha. Some of the easiest things that you can do to biohack. Like Busha, we biohack Busha all the time. She's probably like, what the hell? Because we don't label it like that, because no one knows what it means. But now you guys do, because I've just told you. So if you want more energy and you want to lose weight, biohacking is like I think the easiest way to go. You're going to be looking at your hormones, you're going to be working on those and making small changes so that you can get to where you need to be. Of course, I've lost a brush. I do this all the time. You just come over here. There it is. God. Hey, Charlene, how's it going? So, the first thing you need to know, I think, is that your body is on a timer. It's on a 24-hour timer. So, when you are getting ready for bed and it's dark, typically you're going to be more tired than in the middle of the day when it's sunny, right? And that's because your body is on a circadian rhythm. This is the body clock. and it releases different hormones at different times of the day. And this is what I think is like the easiest thing to biohack. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. Not only is it the easiest thing, it is like the most important thing you can be doing to lose weight, to get more energy, and wherever your goal is. This is what you need to do. So I'm not going to go into it, but basically it's part of the brain that controls what hormones go out at different times. It's in control of your endocrine system, which is your hormone system. And it is controlled by dark and light cycle partly. A couple of other things can contribute to it, which we will talk about. But the dark light cycle, or the light dark cycle, is the key contributor to your endocrine system. So if you want to have more energy and you want to lose weight and you want less brain fog and you want to feel like on top of the world and you want to perform, look and feel at your best, this is the thing that you need to hack. It's your circadian rhythm. So how can you do this? Well, I've just told you that the dark light cycle is in control mostly of this part of your brain. So how can we do this? Some of the things you should not do. There's loads. I'm just thinking now, there's 4, 5, 5. I'm going to talk about a couple of them. I'm not going to go into them all because I want you to implement 1 or 2 things first. So 2 of the most important things you can do, and I'm going to explain why first, actually, and then I'll tell you exactly what it is. So when we were cave people, so when we think about evolution, if you believe in evolution in that kind of stage, I'm not even going to go into that. When we were cave people, we did not have electricity. So the way that when we would be awake was daytime, and then when it was light, and then when we go to sleep, it was nighttime, so it would be dark. Since then, so our endocrine system's basically woken up with the sun and gone to sleep or our body's gone to sleep with the darkness. And that's how we are built. Now, I know lots of people are like, oh, I'm a night owl or whatever. There is some evidence to support this, but to be honest, probably not. There's also been studies that they've taken like however many people up to the mountains where there's no electricity, no lights, no artificial lights, and they all fell asleep within 45 minutes of each other. So, we got to look at the science as well, haven't we? It can be, if you trained your endocrine system to stay awake during the night, that's different, but naturally we are meant to sleep in the nighttime or we're meant to be awake in the daytime, which is why if you're a night shift worker, it is really bad for your health. Really bad. There's no getting out of it. It's just terrible. It's really bad for your health. But obviously we can't control our work. We can't just quit, right? Unless we really wanted to. But generally, it's not the best thing just to go, oh, fuck it, I'll just quit without something lined up. But there are other, again, when we're talking about like different people and biohacking for different people and different goals, if you're a night shift worker, there's different things you can do to biohack your body to still get these results versus like a non-night shift worker. Anyway, so when we were cave people and we only had daylight and the darkness, before bed, before we went to sleep, as the sun went down, we would light fires. So we're used to seeing this orangey kind of color, as well as the sky, right? Sunset, orangey pinks. What happens now when you go to bed? What are you doing? Don't lie to me. I know what you're doing. You're on your phone. You are scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Reels, just doom scrolling, or you're checking your emails, going, "Oh, I just need to check this one last thing. Just need to send this one last thing." There are a couple of reasons why this is terrible for you. The first one is that it is going to increase your stress. So you're going to see an email, you're going to go, oh my God, I shouldn't have. Oh my God, I shouldn't have. Now I can't sleep. And then you're not going to be able to sleep. The second thing is it emits a blue light. Not anymore, Busha says, but sometimes I do get caught out on my phone. Yeah, I know you. Got my spies around. But it does emit a blue light. So some people will be like, well, I've got blue light blocking glasses on. Unless they're an expensive brand, they don't really work, to be honest. but you could give them a go, or just avoid it. Like, that's going to be the easiest thing, because even if you're not checking your work emails, you might go on social media and be like, oh, look at that person. I was in school with that person. And that person now's got all of this stuff, and I haven't got this stuff, and I did better at school. And, no, 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 no. And it starts increasing your cortisol, a hormone, which is on your circadian rhythm, and it's supposed to peak in the morning and then it's supposed to come down. But if you're on your phone scrolling, you get stressed out, it increases again, and you're not going to sleep, because your body thinks, oh, it's time for cortisol release, which means that it is daytime, right? That's essentially what happens. So you're going to be on your phone, right? Stop it. Stop being on your phone late at night. I would say an hour before you go to sleep, just stay off it. And I say phone, I mean laptop as well. I know you guys on your laptops checking your emails or your tablets or anything else. Don't do it. And you shouldn't really be watching TV either, because that also emits a blue light. Now, I don't know. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but in an ideal world, if you really want to be biohackers, you need to get off your phone and all screens an hour or 90 minutes before bed. So what do you do in this hour before bed? You wind down. You make the rooms really dark. You live by or go by candlelight or Himalayan salt lamps. Because why? They emit an orangey pink light. So our bodies are then triggered, like, okay, I recognize this. Even if you don't think about it, your body will recognize it, because we've evolved like that. We've evolved to recognize that and start to feel tired and sleepy. And now the blue light isn't being emitted, which means that we're going to have a better quality sleep. Which means that if you've got better quality sleep, because it's not just, oh, I can sleep 8 hours, I can sleep 20 hours, I can sleep 4 hours and be fine. It's the quality of those hours. So if the quality is better, you're going to have more energy. There we go, biohacked. That's the easiest thing. Now, the second thing that I'm going to talk about today is, should I talk about 2 or should I talk about 3? We'll see how time goes. If you distract me and I can't do my makeup very quick, then maybe we'll get 3. Otherwise, we're going to do 2. And the second one is going to be when you wake up. So we've just spoken about going to bed, right? We've spoken about not being on your phone, going by orangey, amber kind of lights. But what about in the morning? People don't really talk about a morning routine, or they have this full shebang where they're like, I need to meditate, I need to go for a run, I need to do my exercise, I need to walk, I need to get my water in, I need to have this random shake, which is disgusting and makes me throw up every morning. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. But I need to do it because it's in the morning routine, my affirmations and all that kind of shit, right? And we look and we go, no, honestly. I've been there. Or you do it for like a few mornings and then you're like, oh, okay, it's the weekend. I don't care. So you need to create a morning routine that will train your body to prepare for the day. And this is going to look different to everyone. And I was talking yesterday about, I think I was talking to Charlene actually on my live about journaling, and how sometimes journaling is really good for you. And other times, if you're putting the pressure on yourself to journal and like, oh, I don't really want to, like, it's not really resonating with me right now. Forcing yourself to do it is going to make it worse, because then you're going to be like, oh, I forced myself to do it, I didn't enjoy it, and you're just dragging yourself through the day, through the journaling. So instead, you need to create a morning routine that is good for you. But the most important thing is, of course, I'll give you the most important thing, not being on your phone or electronics for the first 60 minutes, right? I know that's really hard. You can start at like 30 or 20 or 10 and just push it back, but delay being on your phone. So what happens is, when you're on your phone and you have this like artificial light, the body, because it's not like a natural light, right? It's an artificial light. The body will start to be like, oh my God, like something's happened. You haven't like gradually woken up with the sunrise. for example. Or if you've got an alarm, that's even worse because like, and you're like, oh my God, my life. And that your cortisol spikes. We've already spoken about cortisol being in the morning earlier, like midday-ish. So if you're now uh, wide awake like that, your body goes into state of shock and it's going to throw your hormones off. I mean, we're talking about hormones, we're just talking about cortisol really here. But there are other ones which we are working on whilst we're doing these, but cortisol is the main one because most of you guys are stressed to shit, stressy little shits. um, okay, so that's what we're doing. We're going to delay being on the phone for about an hour after we wake up, and we're going to get there. We're not going to just wake up tomorrow and be like, no phone, no phone, no phone. We're going to delay it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. So you're going to have a different alarm. So for me, I've got a Whoop, and this basically vibrates on my wrist gently in the morning, and that wakes me up. You can use the light alarms as well. You know, the ones that basically go from off to like an orange to a yellow to white, and that will wake you up as well. Test it on a weekend. Have an alarm as a backup just in case. I don't want to be blamed for anyone not being in work because they've missed their alarm, but they are very, very good for you. And the one that I used to have would also go backwards. So in the evening, I could put that on. It would be like white, and then go yellow, then it go orange, then it would go black. So that's another good tip to have if you're going to buy something to biohack. That's a really good option. And you can also put sounds and stuff on the one that I had anyway. You could put sounds on it, like it would link up to the radio or bird sounds or whatever. So there is that. And then you also want to get your body moving, and you want daylight, right? So when you wake up, this is the ideal. When you wake up, you want to go outside in daylight and be in the sun. People say look at the sun, and I'm very dubious about giving that advice. But apparently, the first 45 minutes of daylight, the sun doesn't hurt your eyes. I again do not base that on me. That's just what I heard. Charlene says I've recently started the buzz alarm on my watch, so it's much better. Yes, so much better. Bushra, I get up in the morning, then I'm in the gym 30 minutes later. I do not go on any social media, which helps me so much. Yeah, again. So when you go to bed, you don't want to be in social media because it's going to stress you out before bed. Then when you wake up, you don't be on social media because it's going to stress you out. Oh, work. It's going to stress you out for your day. You'll be like, oh, Bushra, always at the gym in the morning. I can't be like that. And you're going to get angry, and your day is going to go to shit. And then let's tangent here. Your there's a part of your brain that filters the day to look for specific things. And so if you've started off, oh, Bushra, she's like, I never be like that, then your subconscious will start to find things and create a day and choose options and make you want things that will make that statement true. So I'll never be like Bushra. So if Bushra gets to the gym every morning, she makes healthy food and whatever, your body's like, well, I'm never going to be like Bushra, so I'll do the opposite. I'll just binge on chocolate and stay in bed and be on my phone and do all the naughty things. So that's called the reticular activating system. Special. And you can also hack that. Maybe we could talk about that another time by hacking your reticular activating system to be a better you. We could talk about that maybe next time that I do one. So you're going to stay off social media, stay off your phone, get some daylight. Now, this is going to be more difficult in winter, depending on where you are at, right, in the world. But yeah, it's going to be harder. So the light alarm will help. There are other things you can get. You can get like red lights and stuff like that, but we're doing the basics. We're doing like biohacking 101. So we've done, oh, and then in the morning also you want to get up, you want to move. So if you can go for a walk first thing in the morning before work, that is going to set you up for the day. Your body's going to be in a good place. You've already got some steps in, you've got some daylight, your mood's going to improve. You're going to feel less stressed. You're going to be more positive, and you're going to get better results. And your energy is going to be like tip top. The worst thing you could do when your alarm goes off is press snooze. It is literally the worst thing that you can do. it would be better that your alarm didn't go off, because your body, when you go to sleep, it sleeps in 90-minute intervals. So if you're like part way through that and your alarm's going off, and then you kind of get back into sleep, your body can't get into like a full rhythm unless you're going to go sleep for another 90 minutes, in which case, don't put the alarm on. Or it's going to be kind of relaxing. You're going to kind of start to go to sleep, and then you're going to wake up again, going to snooze, same. And your mood will decrease, your energy will decrease. Is that why people are better in the summer than the winter as well? That's going to be partly to do with the sun, like the length of day, because unfortunately, I think it's like Sweden, Scandinavia anyway, suicide rates massively increase in the winter because the days are so short, and this has got a link with the lack of vitamin D as well. So I recommend most people supplement with vitamin D, like I do throughout the year, not just in winter, but throughout the year. Because I also read that it takes a few months for it to like build up in your system. So if you're just taking it in winter, well, it's kind of too late. You need to be been taking it the whole time. I'm pretty sure that was the vitamin D, or maybe it was the red light. I can't remember. But either way, no one is going to overdose on vitamin D, right? Like everyone is under. So take some vitamin D. Biohack. Biohack, vitamin D. So that's going to improve mood and energy as well. And also getting moving. Think about it from evolution. When you were moving, you had to get up and go. Maybe you were like going to fight. Maybe you were going to capture something. Maybe you were going to pick. Maybe you were going to, whatever it was. Like, you're active and moving. Your body was into that rhythm, and that's going to set you up with energy for the day. So that is basically your morning routine. I'm going on holiday in the sun. Do I still need to take vitamin D? I mean, it's not going to harm. It's not going to harm. You can take it if you want to. I take it when I travel, but it's up to you. I normally buy it wherever I'm at, to be honest. And then for breakfast, you want to be eating. You want to be eating early on in the day. So if you're going to do fasting, ideally you want to fast like in the evening, which is good for a couple of different reasons. So first thing, biologically, our body will also be set off by meal timings as well. So our circadian rhythm will be set off. So if we are eating first thing, it's like, okay, we're up, we've moved, we've got some daylight, we're feeding ourselves, which means we're ready to get up and move for the day. Whereas if you eat later, you're more likely to snack because you're like, oh, well, I can squeeze this in, I can squeeze this in. Whereas if you're fasting in the evening, you're like, it's too late, I can't eat. It's past my feed-in time, I can't eat. And that rule kind of helps a lot of people. So it helps twofold. And also, if you eat too late, talking of eating, my stomach's rumbling. If you eat too late, then that's going to disrupt your sleep because your body isn't going to be able to shut down because it hasn't had the time to digest your food. So you want to eat in the morning, and you want to eat protein, fiber, and if possible, some probiotics. So you got prebiotics and probiotics, and prebiotics is the fiber, and probiotics is going to be the bacteria that you're going to add into your gut. So like some yogurt, pickles. I'm eating a lot of pickles at the minute. Sourdough. There we go. Have your sourdough. That's going to help us all. And kombucha, kimchi, sauerkraut, those kinds of things. They're also going to help as well. They are all probiotics. If you can have one of those in the morning, great. That's going to help you as well. So what's going to happen is that the fiber is going to help you feel full. It's going to give you the energy because it's got the nutrients in. Because fibrous foods like fruit and veg, they've got lots of fiber in. It's going to stabilize your blood sugars, and also the protein is going to help with both of those things as well, fullness and blood sugars. So that you're not going to have this crash. You're not going to feel like, oh my God, I'm desperate for my third coffee and it's only 8 a.m. Instead, you're now feeling good, you're feeling energized. You don't feel like you've had that crash to pick back up. your energy is good. So um, eat your protein and your fiber and hopefully probiotic in the morning. And you want to avoid caffeine. I know, everyone's just like logged off. Fuck you, babe. But you want to be reducing caffeine or limiting it until 90 minutes after you wake up. So if you wake up at 7, you're not having a coffee until 8:30. I know, I'm sorry. Or even better, you wait until midday. Remember the cortisol situation? So caffeine is a stimulant, it blocks the tired receptor. So if you wake up, have a coffee, your body will go, well, we don't need cortisol to wake us up anymore. Cortisol we do need throughout the day. We don't need like a load of it, but we do need it. And so if you're relying on caffeine, your cortisol is like, well, we don't need to produce this anymore. This is shit. We'll just have this wherever you're drinking coffee. And then that's going to throw off your cortisol production throughout the day, right? And you'll just produce less, basically. Your circadian rhythm will be off then as well. You'll also have the crashes, which obviously you don't get with a natural cortisol increase throughout the day. But then you need another coffee when you haven't got any coffee. Like, oh my God, it's 8 p.m. I shouldn't really have another coffee. You go for food. You eat loads of shit. Maybe you have like a 2 p.m. slump. You go to the vending machine. So this is all because you haven't had a good breakfast. You slept like shit because you didn't have a good bedtime routine. You didn't wake up and move and have good sunlight in the morning. Didn't have a good breakfast. And you've lived off caffeine. And that's why you're having these slumps. This is why you're having these energy crashes. This is why you're having these mood swings. So they are like the easiest things you can do to biohack your body. And they're just two simple. Well, I know there's a few different things, but we've got like morning and evening. They're the simplest things you guys can be doing. Note, apart from vitamin D, I didn't say, oh, you need to take this or you need to take that. And you don't have to take vitamin D. I would just recommend it. No worries, Bushra. And the thing is, like, it's not only going to help with your energy, but it's also going to help you lose weight. It's also going to help with your mood. If you're perimenopausal and you're having symptoms, it's going to help with those. So I think these are like the real basics that people don't think about. So what about an ice bath? Don't need to do it. Like, that's it. You do not need to do an ice bath. I think a lot of people like ice baths and dips because they're hard. And people are like, oh yeah, I did an ice bath for 30 seconds this morning or whatever. It's like, well, did you go to sleep on time? No. Stop fucking wasting time then. Stop wasting water. Instead, just go to bed on time. It makes me very angry. It infuriates me. Just because something's hard doesn't mean that it's good. Doesn't mean that it's positive, right? So biohack at your level. You don't need to think about nootropics if you can't get up without pressing snooze 3 times, right? You don't need to think about heat therapy if you don't eat enough fiber in your diet, right? You don't need extra things when you can't hit the basics. And this is the problem. People think the basics are boring, but the basics get results, like Bushra, results. All of our clients, results. Because they're doing the basics. They're not like, oh, when am I going to start dipping my fucking toe in freezing cold water every morning? You're not. Because it's not going to help you lose weight. Because you can't even get to bed on time, right? So we need to be biohacking for our level. So I hope that's helpful. There are other things, of course, I was going to mention, but finished, so I'm not going to do it. I am going to go outside. I have been outside. I go outside for 10 minutes, normally in the morning. I'm going to go outside again in a minute. And I try to work outside as well, so I take my laptop outside and get as much daylight as possible. So my mood is good. But if you guys need anything, let me know. Have a fantastic day, and I will speak to you soon.